Well, what do you say we check out everyone's favorite fragrance line? It is the newest from Carolina Herrera, the newest in the Bad Boy line. And I have to admit, looking at the box right now, this is looking pretty cool. This one is Bad Boy Cobalt. Okay, right there. Bad Boy Cobalt. 150 milliliters of pure, maybe good juice. We'll see. I mean, it ended up being like $20 more, if even that, to get the extra 50 mils. So I always like to go for it. It's an Eau de Parfum Electrique spray. So, we'll go ahead and start opening this one up. We're going to see how it stacks up. The original, I have to admit, isn't one of my favorites. But Le Parfum, the Eau de Parfum here, is shockingly good. So we'll see what Cobalt does. I took a peek at the note breakdown. It looks unique, interesting, not maybe what you would expect. Let's just dive right into this thing. So I like the packaging experience here. It's quite a big box, and this bottle is going to be ridiculous. Oh boy, here we go. Bad Boy Cobalt, 150 milliliters. A nice clear to deep blue gradient. I don't know if you can see that. It is metal, which is cool. So I can already tell this will probably be a little bit tippy sitting on your shelf there. So when you're going in and putting stuff around, make sure you don't knock it over. Another thing I'm seeing is this is a cap. Yes, it is a cap with a gold collar and atomizer versus these have the integrated, push down right there. Some people aren't a fan of that. I'm kind of indifferent. But the cap, I think, some people really like. So, got nothing on my hand. It's a little bit awkward to figure out the... I don't even know what I'm talking about. Let's just start spraying and we'll see what it smells like. So, right off the bat, it has a familiar smell to it. There's this... I don't know how I want to describe it. There's this fruitiness, and then there's this, kind of weird bite underneath, like a fruity texture, sweetness in one way. It does have this kind of, this sounds weird, but it has this blue smell to it. And I don't mean blue like blue fragrance ambroxan. I mean okay, there's this mentholy mintiness going on as well. So if I had to describe this to smell like one color, it would be the color blue. And again, not talking about blue fragrance ambroxan, just some fragrances may smell like orange or, I don't know, pink. I don't know. But this has a blue smell to it in that way. I'll go ahead and reference some notes here because I do think there's some interesting stuff. We have pink pepper and lavender up top. We have plum and geranium in the mid. We have truffle, vetiver, and cedar in the base. So see, that's a different note breakdown. Maybe not what you would expect from looking at the bottle, the name Cobalt. You may just think citrus, blue fragrance, freshy all the way, but it's not just that easy. You do get the plum, which is kind of that fruitiness that I was referencing. Not a whole lot of pink pepper up top, not too spicy. You do get the lavender, though. I think it's the geranium that's going to be giving off that kind of minty, green, almost menthol smell. And what I'm really interested to see as it continues to dry down, and more so when I test it later on, is the truffle note. Right now it's a little bit too soon to tell. There is sweetness, but it doesn't necessarily smell like it is truffle. There's a sweetness, right? I think it'll need some more time to develop where we can really hone in on that one note in particular. But, it does have this nice smell to it. And here, it's almost reminding me a little bit of like a 1 Million Lucky. Somewhat, because that one has plum, it's got aldehydes, fruitiness, sweetness, freshness, lavender, clean. 1 Million Lucky is a whole bunch of stuff, and in a way this has a little bit of that going on. Okay, so people have already started their voting on this one here on Fragrantica. Longevity, we've got 6 people voting for Eternal. So I don't know if this is trolling. I don't know if maybe it's true. I don't know. Probably would think that's a little bit trollish, but normally they do it on the very weak side of things, so we'll see. Sillage, we have 5 for enormous and 4 for moderate. So that's probably more likely moderate because this isn't coming off as like a massively performing fragrance right now on my skin. Gender, mostly male, I would agree. Of course, already people are saying it's overpriced. So, comparisons, I skipped right past it. First one is Axe Dark Temptation. Haven't smelled it. Don't know. Second one is Bleu de Chanel. No. Third is Invictus. Fourth is Missoni Parfum. Black XS. And that's it, basically. There's some other random stuff, but really I don't think it's any of that. If I had to compare it to one thing, again, it's giving me kind of flashbacks of a 1 million Lucky type, but it's not that simple either. Realistically, how this is sitting right now is it doesn't necessarily smell like any one other thing. So we're not looking at a clone scenario here, at least I don't think. Are we looking at a familiar smelling fragrance? Oh, 100%, and that's what I was expecting. It's the same with the original. The Parfum, it is probably going to be the most daring and the most fragrance enthusiast friendly. This is going to be boring to some people. However, I want to give it some time because I think if this does end up performing good, if it develops in the way that I think it's going to, I think it could be one where when it hits discounters, it may not be a half bad pickup, believe it or not. So a little weird thing, I'm going back up to the notes because I'm smelling a floral now. And I just took a look at the note breakdown. I'm not seeing florals. Again, there's lavender, there's geranium, and vetiver cedar, but no florals that they're listing anyway. But I'm picking up on it. Like it's a light, I don't know, almost jasmine, or I'm not too good with my florals, but there is something going on. Something other than the notes that they're giving us. At least that's what I'm picking up on. So that's kind of giving it a freshness. Again, as it sits right now, not too much truffle yet. Sweetness, yes. Truffle standalone, not really. So, that's kind of where I'm at. It smells pleasant. I feel like it's almost monotonous at this point. We either get something that is really, really good, or we get something that is, it smells nice, but it is similar. And that's kind of where we are here. Not similar to any one other thing, but similar in general. And do you really expect anything different from the line? I mean, come on, we can't judge it too hard. I'm trying to look at the whole picture here. I'm trying to look months down the road when this one is on discounters for, I don't know, $60 maybe-ish, somewhere around in there. At that point, I think we may be looking at something that people would like to pick up and enjoy. The plum fruitiness gives it something unique. That kind of minty menthol kick off the very top is something different as well. So, I think it could be pretty cool. I'm curious to see performance here. We'll see how it does. Hopefully it does well. Presentation is nice. I like the cap. I like the bottle, even though it's, a little bit Invictus-y style or Paco Rabanne style, just very loud, right? It's not the most classy looking thing. It is cool. I will do a full review on this one in the future, probably closer to end of spring, early mid-spring, somewhere around in there, because, I don't think it's going to be a summer fragrance. I think it's going to be more spring, fall, milder temperatures in general, kind of in there. It's going to be a younger guy's fragrance, gentlemen who want something mature, you're not going to want this. Could be good for daytime, maybe evenings, but I would almost say that Bad Boy Le Parfum, Eau de Parfum, yes, it is Le Parfum, but it is an EDP. This would probably be better almost for date nights, maybe. I don't know, it's been a while since I've smelled this one. See, that smells great. They were onto something here. And I'm not saying that they're not with Cobalt, but for some, it's going to be a pass. So that's going to do it for me. Cobalt Eau de Parfum Electrique Spray. Wasn't expecting greatness. Not that we're getting something that isn't great. It's nice. But I would say most of you would smell this and you would be like, oh yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting. If you've tried this one, let me know what you think down below. I will link it down below as well, along with Bad Boy Le Parfum, which I do think is one that is worth checking out, and the original as well. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.